Denmark and Wales, first ever meeting in a major tournament, although they have met 10 times before, and out of those 10 clashes that they have had, Denmark has won almost 6 times, whereas Wales won only 4 times. The last time that Wales won from Denmark was back in November 2008, and that was a friendly match. But on the other hand, for Denmark, they won against Wales home as well as away in the Nations League campaign that they had back in 2018. But on the other hand, Wales has a better footing and a better experience in a major tournament because they were the semi-finalists in Euro 2016. Whereas since 2004, this is Denmark's first appearance in knockout stage. In 2004, they lost from Czech Republic by 3-0. Now in this match, Wales will have less to no fans in the stadium today in Amsterdam, but whereas Denmark can have 16,000 fans almost. Now that will, I think, be a very important factor in today's match. It'll be a really fun match to watch because Wales has players like Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, and then also Daniel James, who have been performing very well. And did you know that Aaron Ramsey and Gareth Bale's partnership, the duo, they created 4 chances for one another in a match against Turkey that they had. And also this partnership, Aaron Ramsey and Gareth Bale's partnership, created 6 chances against Russia in Euro 2016. So I think they will be very significant players for Wales in today's match. Also, the captain Gareth Bale is going to pump the youngsters of his squad to come up, to level their game up in a match like this, and what it means to play for the nation. Also, on the other hand, Mikkel Damsgaard, only 20 years old, has become the youngest goal scorer in a major tournament for Denmark, and we can see a goal or 2 from him in this match too. The absence of Christian Eriksen is going to cost a lot to Denmark, but players like Simon Kjær, Christensen, then Højbjerg, they have to step up in a game like this to motivate the rest of the squad to come up and give it all in matches like these. Also in terms of attacking, Braithwaite, then Yussuf Poulsen, then Damsgaard, they have to work together so that they can get a goal here, because Wales is quite experienced in the term of attacking, in term of offensive minded play, so they will go all out in that scenario, whereas Denmark has to defend very well so that they can stop the counter attacking of Wales. For Wales, it's Ethan Ampadu who won't be available in today's match because of the red card that he got against Italy, in which Italy won by 1-0. So he won't be available today, but rest of the squad is fit and fine and available to play for Wales. On the other hand, in Denmark, it's just Christian Eriksen who won't be in the squad. Rest, everybody is there. The fully fit squad is there. So it'll be really fun to see who wins this match and who gets out of this tournament. Let's see what happens. But my prediction in this match is going to be 2-1 in favor of Denmark. I have a feeling that Denmark will win this match with the added support from the fans as well as the motivation behind the match, because they have been in this knockout stage after very long, almost 17 years. So it is going to mean a lot to them. Let's see if this happens or not. But cannot take Wales lightly at all, because they have very experienced players and they can put a lot at danger for Denmark. It's half time and the scoreline is 1-0 in the favor of Denmark. Guess what? Wales started with a bang. They had 2 very good shots in the first 12 minutes, but it was Denmark who settled in the game very well with their calmness and composure, and you could see that throughout the match that they had, that things started working out for them. It took time. I'm not saying that it did not. It took time for them to get settled in the game, but oh boy, how did they settle? The goal by Dolberg was a beautiful strike in the bottom right corner by him. The perfect strike with precision, and could not have expected more from him. It was that good. But it was Joachim who built this goal with a beautiful and extraordinary pass to Damsgaard. Damsgaard controlled the ball very well, and then what a run that he had, and then passed it to Dolberg, and then Dolberg converted it from outside the box. Guess what? Denmark have more goals from outside the box than any other team in this Euro 2020, and that is 3 goals from outside the box. And for Wales, I think they just need to find their calmness and composure, because they're lacking that clearly. Joe Rodon, I have a feeling that he can get a second yellow in the second half. He needs to calm down a bit because he's getting so aggressive and angry in every tackle that he's making, and I'm sure that referee has already given him a yellow card, and second one is not far away, because he really needs to calm himself, and they need to find their footing like they did in the first 12 or 15 minutes in the game, because it's just 1 goal down and they can definitely beat that and come back in the game and win it. We are yet to see a link-up play between Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey, but I'm sure even if that happens once in this game, it's going to hurt Denmark a lot, and that can happen. That can clearly happen. So far so good. Denmark is looking the better side, especially after that first goal. They got more confident after that goal and they looked more threatening than Wales. Oh my god, what just happened in the match? 4 goals for Denmark. 4 goals. I knew I was betting my money on Denmark, that Denmark is going to win it. But I just did not know that they would end up with 4 goals. I think the problem started because they got the second goal at the very start of the second half by Dolberg again. It was a clear defensive error by Nico Williams. You can't get away with mistakes like that, and that will cost you if a team like Denmark and strikers like Dolberg are there who are in form and they can get goals anyhow. No matter what you do, they're going to punish you for the mistakes that you make, and that's what happened. Wales lost composure after that first goal itself. And after the second goal, I think there was no way of them coming back into the game. I was really having doubts for the changes that Denmark made after Simon Kjær, then Delaney, then Damsgaard. They got substituted. I thought that it won't be possible. The bench strength can't be that strong that they can retain 2-0. Andreas Cornelius was so good. At a point in the match, he took out of play 4 to 5 players of Wales. And soon after that, Joachim Mala made a great run. Nobody was defending him and he got the goal. That was a brilliant strike from Joachim and a ticket to go to the quarterfinals, because there was no coming back for Wales after that. There is no explanation to Harry Wilson's red card. No explanation to that. Why did he make such a silly tackle? And it had to be a red card. Even though for Wales match was already lost, but there was no point in making such tackles. It was really a poor and horrible challenge from Harry Wilson. And then finally Martin Braithwaite got the 4th goal for Denmark and the win was sealed and it was done and dusted. And now Denmark is in quarterfinals and they've done a brilliant job against Wales, and I'm sure that we can expect something like that in another matches too, because I feel the gameplay of Denmark after getting those 2 goals and not lying deep and defending, they did not do that. They kept on pushing, they kept on playing the offensive minded play, and they kept on getting goals. That was the best thing that could happen. The substitutes of Denmark, they maintained the pace and the momentum of the game with which the playing 11 were already playing, and that was so good. And that is it from me today. Bye.